In 19...
We're banner.
Hey, buddy.
From the beginning, Idaho. In 1977... From the beginning.
Hey, buddy.
Welcome one and all. We greet you in the thick, big noise raising to the rafters at Athletic Club Boise Stadium, where tonight's match is presented by Hayden Beverage, the official distributing and beer garden partner of AC Boise. A hot Idaho, the site for an occasion fixture in USL League One, as the scorching Flamingos of forward Madison, in an irresistible spree of form of late, as you can see here, have moved up to 4th in the current USL League One table. They'll be battling tonight with one of the league's heavy-hitting favorites, AC Boise, looking for their first win in 3 games. As you can see, a couple of spots behind them there and 4 points behind them. But forward Madison do have 3 games in hand over Boise. My name is Russ Davenport. Thanks for joining me tonight for this tantalizing tilt. Tonight's player to watch, for the home team, AC Boise, is Denis Kostashin, the 28-year-old Ukrainian. He got off to a hot start this season, 4 goals in his first 5 starts, but he slowed Sids with just a couple of goals in his last 15 appearances. Gets his second start in the last 4 tonight, and always a threat in the final third. Will have the talented Spaniard Jesus Barea next to him on the front line. Boise didn't find the back of the net last time out against Corpus Christi. Kostashin will be looked upon to remedy that tonight. As for the red-hot forward Madison, our player to watch is Ryan Carmichael, the 25-year-old from Northern Ireland. He's at the opposite of Kostashin's season, really. 1 goal in his first 9 games, but as Madison have heated up, as has Carmichael. Had a hat-trick 10 days ago. Has tallied 7 goals in his last 8 appearances, 7 of those starts. He had a nice little relationship going with loanee Hakeem Karamoka, who will be coming off the bench tonight. Karamoka himself, over the last 3 games, has 2 goals and an assist. But Carmichael great from set pieces as well. It is in the high 90s in Boise tonight. Play on the field should be just as heated between these 2 teams, looking to really solidify themselves as one of the legitimate contenders coming down the stretch in USL League One. Stick with us. We'll be right back with lineups and the opening kick from Treasure Valley next.
KTVB Plus, streaming live local radar 24/7. Watch as the storm rolls in and check the forecast whenever you want. Stream now and watch for free. Live radar 24/7, only on KTVB Plus.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became America's best-selling trucks. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years and counting. And Ford, the most awarded brand for initial quality among trucks by J.D. Power. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
One bad turn, one wrong move, and you're down. Bring it. At St. Alphonsus, we see the fractures and the bigger picture. We move fast, sharp minds, steady hands, tech that guides every move. Rep by rep, week by week, we build you back stronger. This isn't just care, it's your comeback. So, bring it.
We're Banner Bank, and we want your business to succeed, to get to the next level. And we have a long history of helping businesses just like yours. Banner Bank, better ideas, better banking.
Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka, refreshing and goes down smooth. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
Welcome back to Boise to get ready for this one between forward Madison and Athletic Club Boise. Tonight's walkout is sponsored by the Idaho Ford Dealers, the official auto partner of Athletic Club Boise. Tonight's starting lineup's also brought to you by the Idaho Ford Dealers. As for Nate Miller and AC Boise in his starting 11, 2 changes. In come Kostashin and Barea. Out go Thomas Amang and Tumi Mo Shaban, sticking with their usual back 3. Adams gets a red start. Look for Mayaka to sit behind Bodley and Adams as that defensive midfielder. Ricketts and Moon marauding up those wings. As for forward Madison and Matt Glazer, the hottest team in USL League One, 8 undefeated coming in, 6 wins in a row, 2 changes for them as well from that 2-0 win over Westchester last weekend. In come Stephen Honor, Gyamfi, and Boma. Out go Karamoko. I'm sure we'll see him off the bench in the second one. The interesting one, Jackson Castro starting on the bench. He has a nice little partnership in the middle with Torres of late, but will have to come off the bench for this one tonight. We're nearly underway here. Madison in their light blue fans. If Athletic Club Boise scores 3 goals tonight, you win. Athletic Club Boise is partnered with Restore Hyper Wellness to provide you with $25 gift certificate. Head on over to either Meridian or Boise location to redeem. See Boise in their black with the green trim tonight. Madison on the road for the first time in a while in their pale blue. As we get ready for things here from a scorching Idaho, 98 degrees at kickoff. It got into the triple digits earlier today. And we're underway here. Our referee this evening, John Matto, blows his whistle. Madison in the pale blue, going from right to left. This one's put down into the deep corner here. Athletic Club Boise Soccer Stadium. Mentioned it is a scorching one. We'll see if that has an impact later on when it comes to substitutions. There's Nick Moon on the ball now. Played in League One way back with forward Madison, with Lansing Ignite back in 2019. Back here this year with AC Boise. And here is Nick Moon on the ball now. Looking wide for his teammate on that left side. Jesus Barea past him. There's the other Carmichael. Kevin Carmichael been so solid at the back this season for Matt Glazer. And he brought back 2 players from that disappointing 2025 campaign. One of them, Derek Gephardt, really hasn't featured much of late. He's got a bit of a long-term injury. Should be back in a few weeks, though. This will be a throw for the visitors. Eddie Manjoma, the other returning player from last year for Matt Glazer. He will be on the right wing-back spot here, taking this throw. Had a good chat with both coaches this week about this contest. As you mentioned, Boise and their travel woes recently. They're up in New York, and instead of flying down to Greenville for that midweek contest, they had to take a bus down due to travel issues. Obviously, plenty of travel issues in the Northeast of late. Saw Spokane's game against the Cosmos postponed earlier today. As Boise go long here. Good for the run of Kostashin. Goes all the way through to JT Harms. Tonight's Keys to the Game brought to you by the Idaho Ford dealers. We talked to Nate Miller. He really wanted to get vertical in this game, get Madison going back towards their own goal. As for Matt Glazer, looking to disrupt as they're doing here in the midfield. Not going to let Boise get settled at home. Here come the Flamingos into the final third. This one will go all the way out for Balmer to retrieve. Back to Kenyane. Thinks about going to Balmer. Instead goes back to McCamey. Torres. Such an important cog in the middle of this midfield. You see McCamey listed as a centre back, but loves to push back into that central midfield spot and get involved. But now he's got to track back. But this Boise transition opportunity comes to nothing. It will be a Boise throw, though. I think it came off the Madison player. On the other side will be Jonathan Ricketts, the former Chattanooga Red Wolves man. It's Miami FC to try his trade in the USL Championship. Back here now in USL League One at that right wing back spot. Both these teams do go with the wing back system. This one will go all the way through to JT Harms. What a season he's having between the pipes for Matt Glazer. Matt Glazer, a keeper himself, started every league game. Took one in the face recently, but shrugged it off. And between the pipes tonight for Matt Glazer. We asked Matt Glazer a couple of weeks ago how does he feel about coaching a goalkeeper. He said he doesn't try to put too much pressure on his keepers. First Saturday week of games for Matt Glazer since May. So he loves to have more time to prepare. He said those 3 game weeks are tough. He's got another one coming up. He does get to spend more time with the individual mechanisms, meeting with the players when they do have that extra time. Under pressure here as Berea earns the free kick. Here comes Blake Bodley. Certainly one of the key midfield presences for this Boise side. Mayaka back to Dengler. This one goes over the top, looking for Ricketts, finds him, his first touch lets him down a little bit. Bodley now recovers. Looking for options. We go all the way back to Joshua Yarrow, the right center back in this back 3 for Nate Miller. Crazy game last week against Boise, against Corpus Christi. We'll get to that in a second. Ricketts now into the box. Tries to cross one in, no one in black there though, and it'll be hoofed away by the visitors. This one comes down eventually, as all soccer balls do. Madison now looking for a bit of a spell of possession here. Kanyane inside to Torres. Torres versus Bodley, battle in the midfield tonight will be crucial in this one. Torres, that's a lovely ball through. Will it be kept in? I think just about. I think he ended up sitting on it. Kanyane gets the ball in, headed away. Torres looking to control it. Can't do it well enough to produce a shot though. Madison will recycle here. Torres with the outside of his right foot. It skims past the far post of Jonathan Cleaver. Had a great game last week against Corpus Christi. Ton of shots in that game. Talbot keeping them all out for Corpus Christi. Cleaver doing the same. Here's another look at this one. Torres, bit of an audacious attempt. Good 6 yards wide. And Jonathan Cleaver's right-hand post. Tonight's injury report brought to you by St. Alphonsus. Brito and Mazzola. Mazzola with that broken hand. None reported for Madison. Pretty healthy at this point in the season. Glazer will love to see that. He's had some injury troubles with his squads over the years. Ricketts now getting involved again here in the final third. Surveying his options. Tries to flick it in with his right foot. Still Boise in the box. Berea now looking to turn. That's a great tackle there by Kerfala Toure, the rookie out of Florida Atlantic University. Been a revelation since getting into the starting lineup, scoring goals, making defensive plays like that. Ricketts no option here. Go all the way back to the jogging Jake Dengler. Jake Dengler. Talked to Nate Miller about that 0-0 draw with Corpus Christi. Said he created so many chances, 2.6 XG. No goals. He said they played it how they wanted. The rhythm was there. Took a little while to get going. He said it's just football. One of those games. They have the quality. Just can't get frustrated and stop what they're doing when it's working. Boise here putting on the press. Ricketts. Madison get out of it though. Joshua Yarrow a little too physical from behind there, and he's called for the foul. John Mato having a quick word with him. That was on Jonathan Bulmer. Last time these two teams plays, it was a one-sided game for Madison with the 5-1 win. Matt Glazer said that game's now relevant. It was such a long time ago. These two teams, very different squads now. Wasn't that long ago, but in soccer terms it was. Jake Kroll here now force wide, the man from Austria. Back into Mayaka. And the presence he is at that pivot spot for Nate Miller. Glazer said he knew this environment tonight would be difficult, especially with the heat and obviously the smoke from the fires. Doesn't seem too hazy there tonight. A little hazy in Idaho, but not too crazy. Said this Boise team has built a team to win the league. Such a great venue as well. Crowd into it early here. They know what 3 points would mean for Boise against this red-hot forward Madison side. This ball goes all the way back to Cleaver. Corpus Christi with a big road win tonight against Portland. Through here comes Boise. It was Nick Moon with the attempted finish and just squeezed past the far post of JT Harms. Nick Moon cutting in from that left wing back spot, finding an opportunity at the corner of the 6-yard box. It's a lovely ball over the top. Good first touch from Moon. He almost had a little too much time, tried to side foot it. That's a great save in the end from Harms down to his left. A good low save, just got enough of his forearm on it. He was certainly looking back to see if that one would trickle past the far post. McCamey, I think, may have kept that one in. This corner brought to you by Sun Cruiser. A little bit of a delay here to deal with some nonsense in the box. Mayaka there and Adams over to deal with this one. Charlie Adams, the veteran Englishman, looks like he'll swing it in left-footed. Hasn't seen a ton of action of late. Gets the start tonight though with his experience. Drops it off to Mayaka. Back to Bodley. He swings it in left foot. That's a dangerous ball. But over everybody's head and out for a goal kick. Tune in August 12th. That's this Wednesday for the Briggs Tires Cup USL Cup quarterfinals. After 4 rounds of interleague play, 6 championship and 2 League One clubs remain alive as the knockout rounds begin. Catch all the action Wednesday, August 12th, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. There's Toure. Kenyani now looking to go down the line. Oh, it's a lovely interception by Yarrow. Comes right back to Balmer though. Balmer onto his left foot. Balmer with the book cut back. Carmichael couldn't get it out from under his feet though. That was forced to Torres, 25 yards out. Hammers it. A couple of yards over the top off Cleaver's goal. Good work from Balmer down the left. The cutback was there beautifully for Torres for his second chance here. This replay brought to you by Banner Bank. Torres 25 yards out. Almost too much time. Plenty of pace behind it, but not the accuracy needed to really test Jonathan Cleaver. Other action tonight, Chattanooga with a 3-1 loss against Union Omaha. Charlotte with a 1-0 win over Greenville. A couple of red cards, one in each of those games. Poor giveaway there by Kenyane. Torres tries to slide it and recover. This one will go all the way back to Harms.
So it's AC Boise, it's forward Madison with Ross Davenport. I'm Peyton Gallagher. Thanks for holding down the fort for me, partner.
I tried. There's no disasters, most importantly.
This is a game that will whet the appetite. Very exciting affair between one of the league's most incendiary sides in forward Madison. AC Boise in this buoyant home venue that they built for themselves with something to prove. That 5-1 loss earlier this year, something that Nate Miller said maybe changed the outlook of their season. Boise haven't really looked back from that moment on, but a very frustrating game they're coming off here against Corpus Christi, who just sealed a 2-0 victory on the road against the Portland Arts of Pine.
A big win for the Sharks there in the Northeast. Portland's woes continue.
And it's just an ever-set reminder of the clarification of the battle lines being drawn into this final push and how precious points are. Forward Madison punching up at that #1 seed. AC Boise, despite all the good performances, they might feel the Sharks circling a little bit, if you will. Need to get all 3 points from this game here today. This is Roman Torres. Kenny Kenyane and wide. Josh Bulma on the twist. McCamey toward the top of the box, taken down and tamed by Roman Torres. Boom at the end line. Kanyane cuts into the box. Cued high into the sky by Nick Moon and claimed in full by Jonathan Cleaver. Foul is called. Our center official today, John Mattel. Sergei Selon running the lines as well as Hunter Zekuija. Dion Cox-Trieger is the fourth official. Quarter hour gone. What do you make of the full complexion of the game today, Ross?
Yeah, Boise have had the best chance of this one so far. Nick Moon with a one-on-one against JT Harms, made a good save down to his left. It's the only shot on target so far in this one. Both sides have started brightly. Matching up in those wing-back systems.
All the way back to the goalkeeper, JT Harms. For Madison, coming off the highest scoring month in the club's history in the month of July. As that ball transgresses out over the touchline, and we make it to the hydration break. We will have two of them per half. At kickoff, the temperatures were pushing up towards 100 degrees. That hasn't dampened the mood any, though.
No, I hope they're staying hydrated. Just remember to mix your alcoholic beverages with some water as well, because the alcohol will take it out of you.
This is going to be an extended break as well, to make sure the players have the required nourishment to continue on in a safe fashion. Also looks like the oxygen tank is in effect. There are some after effects maybe of the air conditions caused by various wildfires going on around the Pacific Northwest. And this is a protocol instituted by the USL to make sure that vascular health isn't threatened at all.
Yeah, it's just great. We can make this game happen. You see Charlie Adams and Jonathan Ricketts helping themselves to a bit of the oxygen.
Teams trading blows in the early go of it. Matt Glazer has maybe done the best job of any manager in the league to this point in the year, at least in the estimation of Nate Miller. Here are some of the highlights of what has already come across the bow. It was early on, Nick Moon getting in behind and forcing a save out of JT Harms. It's not a scramble at the back post, but just barely cleared away. As Boise were the ones with the wide eyes in that first quarter hour.
Yeah, Nick Moon looked up, opened his hips, and tried to beat JT Harms' far post, but Harms got down well low to his left. Enough of his arm on it, just trickle it past the far post. Look at Nate Miller.
There is a certain rhythm and rhyme in the play of that man and his teams. He has a firm belief in what they are doing here in AC Boise and the progress being made to it. To that effect, shuffling things a little bit, going with Jesus Barea as the number 9 here today, making his first home start for AC Boise here in this one. Of course, he scored on his only other start against Greenville. And we'll hope to get him involved and maybe make things a little bit more vertical to get in behind this Mingo defense.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, Matt Glazer has so much depth this season with the likes of now you're going to have Thomas Amang and Tumi Moshaban coming off the bench. Certainly the deepest squad offensively he's had in his time here in Madison.
We can't expect goals here today. Forward Madison coming off a month in July. That was, as I said, the highest scoring in the club's history. Over the course of 4 games, they averaged 3 1/4 goals per 90 minutes. That is the most by any team in the USL League One in history that has played more than 2 games in a month. They come on into this match on fire, and that feels like a light assessing of the situation for them. And then you're playing a Boise team that have been massively explosive as well.
8 games unbeaten, as we mentioned, for Madison. 6 wins in a row. Outscored opponents 24-6 in that run. 7 of those 8 games were at home, though. This is really their first real major test away from home, away from Bree Stevens.
Spawning up for a free kick, and a good time to tell you can watch the USL Championship in Spanish on TUDN, nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Loose at the perimeter of the area. JT Harms, his services requested once more. 5-save clean sheet for him last time out against Westchester. having a really strong debut season in the league, the 24-year-old. Ricketts can't rumble by Kenny Kanyane. AC Boise coming off a game in which they were shut out for the first time in 11. They have fashioned themselves a free kick of real use here. Brea taking the bump.
Yeah, Kafala Turley with his big size advantage over Brea, just a little too much contact from behind for the liking of John Mato there. This could be a costly one.
St. Alphonsus free kick for Charlie Adams and co. A lot of big bodies to aim at in the mix. One of them, the former Madison man, Jake Krul. Jake Dangler scored his first professional goal against Forward Madison some years ago. He's also a lethal aerial threat with 5 career-headed goals. Ball in. And it glides over everybody at the back post.
Corner kicks for today's match are brought to you by Mother Earth Brewing.
Corner kick coming up for AC Boise. Corner that is brought to you by Sun Cruiser. Taken short. The choreography may be coming good. Mayeka blocks. He does have that in his locker.
Yeah, he was licking his lips when he saw that one come back to him. Just didn't make good enough contact to get it through the traffic and force a save out of harm's.
Mayeka coming off a game where he posted his season low for touches and passes in a start. Very quiet performance against Corpus Christi in a game where his team had a ton of the ball. A smart bit of clearing by Roman Torres. And pushing away forward Madison. That is some tackle by Ricketts, but undaunted the Mingos. Carmichael getting it wide. Pale blue shirts arriving in mass in the box across goal. Just a warning shot across the bow of Jonathan Cleaver. And it's all starting to light up now. Have no fear, John Motto is on the scene.
John Motto showing off the sprint there. Make sure there was no nonsense going on between Ricketts and Stephen Honor. Certainly going to be a foul on the Madison man with the challenge from behind on Ricketts. Perhaps a little frustration foul. Yeah, just threw the elbow a little bit into the back of the Boise wingback. There was John Mato, as you said, on the spot. He's slowing things down here a little bit now, Peyton, to get his breath back.
I'm maybe more impressed with the deceleration compared to the acceleration. Might need to change the brake pads after that one.
He does have the cleats on the turf. Sometimes these referees will ref with the turf. Oh, I can't really tell if he does have the turf on or not, but it does take a lot to stop like that.
It's the kind of analysis they pay you the big bucks for.
Listen, these refs are all in great shape, I will say. Do so much work during the weekend and the off-season to be able to do things like that, Pete. If I'd have tried that, I'd have certainly ended up not on my feet.
I was about to say, you speak from experience, I assume, as a fellow referee. Nick Moon. It's been left dangling. Moon is fortunate to have fallen right back on top of it, and the referee then makes up his mind to assess a foul.
An injury on the Madison side of things.
They are a young team that is up and at it always. Very ambitious, top note in how they play. Almost fearless would be a more fair way to describe it, especially as of late.
One of the veterans on the squad. Mark Sekber's there holding his shoulders. Take a bit of a stinger accidentally from Nick Moon, trying to shake that one off.
Completely reshaped Madison outfit for Matt Glazer this year. Only Derek Gebhard retains, as well as Eddie Munjoma from last year's team. Munjoma missed most of last year. Moon won't catch up there. Gebhard's hurt now. So for all intents and purposes, this is a completely new, effectively expansion team for Forward Madison this year.
Yeah, it obviously took them a while to get going as expected with the new crew and the amount of road games they have to start the season with, but man, have they got it going now.
Very young squad, and they say hot air rises. Certainly is a hot run of form for Forward Madison, and their sails are full.
I mentioned two of the best coaches in the league as well. It's going to be an interesting tactical battle as this game goes on. Nate Miller back in USL League One after some time in the championship. As an assistant.
Ball on a play, and that ball is a Select ball. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com. Well, it is Select product specials and more. Also, I forgot, what do they say about Select?
They say it's the player's choice.
Yeah. A roundabout and a ball in, blazing over goal.
A disappointing delivery from Blake Bodley. He wanted that one back. Man of his quality should be delivering that a little better. JT Holmes won't care.
It is Boise that have carried to a greater degree, maybe the weight of the game so far. Always to be expected when they're on their home patch. Boise winless over their last pair of games, one against Greenville, a wild one, a 3-2 final in the state of South Carolina. That Boise, after a tough midweek and some hard travel, weren't able to have the endurance to get across the line, and then excruciating 0-0 in which both teams were taut and tense the whole way against Corpus Christi at home. Really, 1-point game there, not the end of the world. What is maybe more concerning for Nate Miller, no goals in the last 3 halves of play. So there's a player down, it looks like Mark Segbers.
It is Segbers again, he's feeling that shoulder again.
Didn't miss a pretty hefty portion of the early part of the campaign, has just now worked back up to full fitness today. His 6th start of the year. First time starting consecutive games though.
He's important to be the real veteran presence, flexible, can play multiple positions. We start here just outside the box for Boise, looking for their 10th win of the season.
Segbers, the only player in this team over 30 years old.
Ooh, just lost his footing.
Goes down, yeah.
And fell on that shoulder again. I think that's the problem when you have a shoulder, arm, or hand injury. You can't really control when you lose your balance. So you put that hand down naturally. It just naturally happens. It's like hurt your shoulder like that again. Let's see if Segbers can shake it off. Mentioned 9 wins for Boise. They've only got 1 win over a top 7 side there. That was against Omaha. The rest of their wins have come against Sarasota, Westchester twice, Naples, Richmond, Portland, and the Cosmos. This would be a real signature win for Boise tonight if they can pick it up and get off this 2-game skid. Did get that point last week, obviously, but lost to Greenville coming before that. Only 1 game from those 2 games they perhaps expected more.
Underscoring the emotional importance of this game and what it would signify for AC Boise as we round this final bend and firmly head into the downhill of this 2026 USL League One season. Bit of a dust up there with Josh Yarrow, including himself.
Nate Miller wanted the foul.
The wide center backs in this tactical plan for Boise do have the license to go forward and bring the fight to the opponent, both with the ball and against the ball. Another piece of evidence there.
And the wing-back battles tonight are going to be the fun ones to watch out wide, no doubt about it. Moon, we've seen what he can do already tonight. Great opportunity earlier on. Ricketts has been heavily involved in these first 28 minutes. Kenyane as well earned the foul there.
Header applied by Jake Dangler. Sent skyward. Dangler wins another tackle. Mayaka picks it up. League's leader in ball recovery is by the outfield player, Phil Mayaka. That's what he's here to do. Unable to keep it though, Boise.
And Nick Moon shot, the only one on target so far in these first nearly 29 minutes for either side.
Wouldn't count on that staying that way. Ryan Carmichael's been quiet so far, but coming off a month with 5 goals, the most ever by a Forward Madison player. over the course of one turn of the calendar. Last game had 8 shots. Only put 1 on target, though, against Westchester. And for all the pretty and pink play forward Madison has had in this run of success, just a real spree of results for them. That last game against Westchester was about grit and guile. Both of the goals coming from extreme effort. First from BB Karamoko and then later by Stephen Honor. Foul called by John Mato. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your ticket to great seats. And I'd recommend you get there a couple weeks early when this team is involved at home.
Credit to the fans out there tonight in these temperatures. Not sitting down much, waving those flags.
Transgressing to the end line and out for a throw. I just thought about how exhausting it would be to wave a flag for 90 minutes in these kind of temperatures.
I can't even hold my hands up above my head for only 30 seconds played, let alone wave a flag in 98 degrees.
Nonetheless, they're doing it and making a massive noise. Away by Dangler. Second ball looped on to by Boise and Berea. He's looking up with wide-eyed intent. A clipping tackle by Eddie Manjoma. And a yellow card for the wingback. So he'll defend on skates the rest of the way.
Eddie Manjoma knew exactly what he was doing there. He was trying to get away with it and hope that Kostashin would get called for diving perhaps, because you watch it here. And he just got him with the hip. Kostashin played it well too as he tried to jink back inside.
To forward Madison, number 23, Eddie Manjoma.
It's a yellow card, Eddie Manjoma, presented by Diamond Heating and Cooling. That is a big one. An hour is a long way to go. One tackle away from taking an early shower.
Luckily for Matt Glazer, Manjoma a wide player, but will get involved in those transition defensive moments where you have to think twice about pulling a jersey back.
An assist last game was his first goal contribution in 9. He's got defending to do here, though. Charlie Adams. Boise leading the league for headed goals with 8. That is a well-carved delivery. It sits up before being spun away. Mayaka steps in. It was looking like trouble was afoot. Boise ushering into the box, and Colin McCamey comes over to cut it out.
I thought Jonathan Ricketts could have taken a better option there. He had time to perhaps take a crack. Instead, just tried to float it towards that far post. And now we will have our second hydration break of this first half.
We saw this to some extent at the World Cup, obviously, with the breaks smack dab in the middle of each half, and it changed things tactically. This is a whole nother level, though. And Nate Miller would have known that this was going to be the case, as well as Matt Glazer heading into the game. Do you periodize things? Do you maybe keep something up your sleeve to use at a later stage in the game after one of these hydro breaks?
I think it certainly comes into play a little more in the second half as opposed to the first half. And I also think, as well as coaches, you don't want to try and overthink things. I think it's just a great chance to talk to those guys on the far side of the pitch from you instead of having to pass a message on. As we mentioned, both these coaches know what they're doing.
Is there an emphasis here for Nate Miller and what he's trying to plan on doing? It does feel like his team is maybe knocking on the door more than that man's squad. Matt Glazer and forward Madison.
Yeah, certainly had the best chance of the match with that Nick Moon opportunity in the first 15 minutes. Nate Miller wants his team to look a little more like they're playing at home.
I think the big thing is Boise have kept the field tilted toward the Madison end, and forward Madison, who have been so good on these dead ball situations, league high 10 corner kick goals heading into this game, the most in the division by 4. They haven't been taking corners. They haven't been in those dangerous areas enough to do harm.
Both teams with 41 passes in the final, exactly 41 passes in the final third so far in this one. 2 corners for Boise, none for forward Madison. I think Matt Glazer looking a little more animated than Nate Miller. Such a key game. A lot of pressure on this game, though. Pressure more on Boise a little bit, more than Madison, to keep things going on the road. We know how hard it is to, let alone win games on the road in this league, get a point on the road. Well, credit to Corpus Christi earlier today.
It will be an examination of focus and endurance for both these teams. For Boise, as you mentioned, the pressure aspect. 2 games without a win for a team of their quality, that's a blip over the course of a long season. 3 without a win, and 2 of those games happening at home. That maybe changes the narrative a little bit. And for a forward Madison team that's coming into this one playing so freely, could tie their longest ever unbeaten streak here today. And if they are able to step out of this one with a point in hand, it does kind of color things a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. Pressure a little bit on Nate Miller. Obviously, first year with this team, but you've got this nice stadium. You've clearly spent a good bit of coin on this squad with the amount of talent, both with the USL Championship experience and USL League One experience. And they are in the playoff picture at the moment, but I don't think they're quite living up to expectations, which is hard to say for a first-year team.
Knocked down in the box.
Obviously not the first time Nate Miller has built a team from scratch. Did it with Lansing Ignite in the first year of USL League One. They only lasted 1 season.
I think it's something he's talked about at great length, how he has the experience now, having been involved with the project in San Diego Loyal that he helped build from scratch, Lansing Ignite as well. And he feels like this is the chance to really make it stick and make his impression on the American soccer landscape.
And he said, when we last chatted, I think it was not this week, but the previous game, he said that during his time in San Diego, perhaps thinking he may get another shot at USL League when he really started to change the tactics, how he wanted to try and break down teams that would sit in the low block. Obviously, this league, such a heavy transition and set piece-based league, and he went from the 4 at the back to the 3 at the back. Look at Madison now.
Clutching at it, and fire was put out by Boise.
Obviously, brought in a bunch of guys he knew from his time, either in Lansing or San Diego, around his travels around the USL. And this man, Nick Moon.
2 rosters that could not have been built any differently. Ricketts in field, it was a clever run. It's laid wide for Berea, and just enough done by Kerfala Toure.
What a time tackle from Toure. He had to time that perfectly. Boise and the fans were asking for a back pass, but certainly was none of that. Referee Mato wasn't having any of it either.
For Madison, starting to make it very difficult on themselves to find any traction now. Digging deeper and deeper into their own half. That being said, I think if it's 0-0 at halftime, on the road, managing the situation, you're probably okay with that being the platform for the rest of your game.
Yeah, 0.05 XG for Madison. A tough time getting it into that final third and creating any quality opportunities. Torres has had a couple from distance.
Jackson Castro is up and bouncing, and we'll see if he gets to come on at a halftime. Cards out of the pocket, who to? Looks like toward the bench. That would be the Boise side, and you can tell that by the boos.
No, not happy about something, or perhaps it was an assistant coach, but there's your answer to that question. Who got that yellow card?
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has issued a yellow card to AC Boise head coach Nate Miller.
It is to Nate Miller, and it will open the window for Jackson Castro to come on. Mark Sebers is the one nursing the knock.
Yeah, Sebers clearly still feeling that shoulder stinger he sustained earlier. You see him holding that arm very gingerly. Those of you that have taken one just inside that shoulder bone and your collarbone there, you know how much that'll hurt. Start feeling numbness in your hand. Hopefully it's nothing more than that for the veteran Segbers.
Brought to you by Athletic Brewing Company and brought into the game and forced Jackson Castro. If there is a deputy of a measure for this moment, it is him. Last match, a season-high 7 ball recoveries, was up for the fight, but a very talented creator had an assist in the prior game against Boise. In fact, he came off the bench to do that too.
Got a nice little relationship going with Torres in the midfield, somebody who they played together in college at Creighton. Oh, another in the same vicinity of the field where that Segbers incident happened. But Balmar asking where the foul was. Referee Mato saying he got the ball.
Josh Bulma, who made his first league start for forward Madison and USL League One against Boise in the prior matchup. Didn't start last game, but had started 4 of the last couple of games. 4 in a row, I should say. 5 of 6. He's tied up and tangled. And that coming together. The referee's going to leave the card in the pocket. Berea scouting the scene. Ricketts was well too wide. Just too many bodies in the way, though, in the middle of the park for Madison to find a way out.
And it seems like both of these teams are canceling each other out a little bit in this first half. Not a ton of space. I mentioned both great coaches knowing exactly what they had to do to nullify each team. I mentioned our key to the game for Madison was to disrupt. I think they've done a good job of that so far. Haven't created quite enough in the final third themselves, but still plenty of time for that. 5 minutes remaining here in this first half.
McCamey, he's not going to be shy about stepping up into the midfield line. He's been deployed as a midfielder on multiple occasions this year. Watch his team give it away, though. Held up by Berea.
Father Toure learning from his previous mistake there. Feeling his presence from behind against Berea. That's a lovely little ball for Yara.
Back infield, Kostashin. A taming touch from him. He's dragged down. That could be real danger.
So Castro got the ball, but too much contact for John Mato in the process. So one of those sort of reach around with the leg tackles. That was going to be a little dangerous. No, didn't get any of the ball.
No.
Castro in the end there. He was claiming he did, but John Mato wasn't going to be fooled by that. Certainly a foul, and a dangerous one at that.
Can't do that. And bad gets worse because this free kick is in the perfect place. It is a St. Alphonsus free kick. Could it be the opener?
Crow was thinking about having a crack from here, but only Adams and Mayaka will have a discussion about it instead. Throwing a 3-man wall for Harms, interestingly. I think he might have gone with 4.
Charlie Adams, it's a balloon.
He looks despairingly to the bench.
Bit wasteful. And play is summoned back. Is there another substitution coming on? That's what the hand signal of the referee is. I don't think there's a sub happening. I don't know what's happened here.
2 goals on the pitch, perhaps. Everybody's a little confused. We've got a player down for Boise now.
Well, it looks like the forward Madison man, Jake Krull, who just became the 3rd all-time minutes leader in the USL League One in the last match.
That's going to be a concern, having his lower left leg, and you can see the signal there.
Oh, wow.
From Jake Dengler.
He is their metronome. The league's all-time leader in touches and passes, leading the league in both categories again this year. '84 career appearances for him for forward Madison. And that's largely because of the fact that he just never came out of games, but that looks like that might be the case here now.
Musa and Jai probably straightforward option on the bench. No Hayden Sargis tonight. He's made a couple of starts at centre back. He's not in the 18 this evening.
I mean, at a glance, it looks like the obvious choice is Musa Anya, but for the most part, despite his ability to play there, he's been a midfielder this year. Those are some concerned looks from the standing end. It definitely won't be a change of shape. I can tell you that much for free. You look at the midfielders, neither Charlie Adams or Mayaka will be players that I think, at least on profile basis, feel super comfortable playing outside center back. But in this system, those players do occupy the role somewhat of a midfielder with the ball at times.
Any of these boys play center back?
This
Well,
is
the
an
back looks like
important
he's
question.
got 6'4". It's Jake Kroll. Referee Mato asking for a decision here.
One of only a handful of players in this team that were in USL League One last year. Jake Kroll. A bit of a common theme between the two squads, and maybe a signal of the changing times in the division. As Kroll is back up.
Yeah, he's walking with a heavy limp though. Certainly heading towards the sideline. The kids are enjoying this one. Back to school soon, I imagine. For one of them. Let's see what Nate Miller decides to do here. It does look like Enye coming on.
They are showering down the name Jake Kroll at Jake Kroll as he makes his exit.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitutions for
And
AC
it is
Boise.
a confirmation of the change. It's Musa Enya, and all square there. Both teams forced into making an injury-related substitution in the first half.
A substitution brought to
It
you by
is
Mother
presented by
Brewing.
Athletic Brewing.
Love your mother.
And it comes in the final occasions of this first half of play here in the state of Idaho. 0-0 in this game.
You see a much different profile. Musa Enya to Jacob Kroll.
Expect a massive amount of stoppage time here.
Ladies and gentlemen, stoppage time brought to you by Diamond Heating and Cooling. Fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 9 minutes of added time.
9 minutes. It was a minimum of 6 because of the hydro stoppages. Had that injury break for both players, Segbers, most recently Jake Kroll. Somehow 9 minutes feels a little bit light. Bula in pursuit, stuck up just a bit for him. It's there for forward Madison, who cling to the ball for only a moment. McCamey. Fourth official indicating the allotment of 9 minutes. It is well into Diamond Heating and Cooling stoppage time. It would certainly remold the halftime team talk if there is any differentiation here.
I think it's been a bit of a disappointing first half, especially for the neutrals, perhaps turning in, looking for some fireworks between these two teams.
Jonathan Cleaver's certainly been happy that it's stayed a little bit cleaner than it did against Corpus Christi. 7 save clean sheet for him. Joint most in a clean sheet this year. JT Harms out to meet it. You want to know who he's jointly tied with?
That one,
No.
Go on.
It's Talbot from Corpus Christi, who also posted 7 saves in a clean sheet in the same game. In fact, it's the second most shots in the USL League One game that finished 0-0 ever. That last match for AC Boise, who will feel hard done by that they didn't find a go-ahead goal in that game.
Yeah, just the one shot on target. 6 total shots between the two sides. The conditions may have played a role in this first half. See if they let it go a little bit more in the second half.
Joma carving ahead. Flipped on neatly by Bulma. That's a foul.
Carmichael. Too much argy-bargy with Nick Moon.
Too much what?
Argy-bargy.
I'm assuming that's not in Merriam-Webster's.
By the Scottish version.
Uh-huh. Well, one up high. It was only the lone player in the middle. Stephen Anort never got to him. That being said, forward Madison starting to finally find a way to live in the attacking half a little bit here.
Only 15 total touches between the two sides in each other's box.
Wow.
That tells you where this game has been played. In the middle of the park so far in this first 48, coming up 49 minutes.
2 big hitters toe-to-toe in the center of the ring. swooped in. Kenny Kanyane will race down the line to keep it on. He may pay the price for that extra effort. No good deed unpunished. Berea. Kanyane has followed it infield, and they go right into the vacancy that he's left. Ricketts, queuing run across for Bodley. And it's so well met, but then given away to Berea again. Mayaka! Mayaka scores! The game stands still. Philip Mayaka does not. And Boise break through to make it 1-0.
Kevin Carmichael did all the hard work. Watch this covering tackle here. And just looked up. Went trying to go back towards the middle, which you never do. Berea was waiting to pounce. And then Mayaka with a lovely little time run, good first touch, and a composed finish inside JT Harms' far post. You have to feel for Carmichael. He's played so well this season, but a moment of madness there. Turning back inside at this point in the first half, just get it out of danger. Madison paid dearly.
And in stoppage time, it is the go-ahead that Boise were hungering for. An AC Boise goal brought to you by Restore Hyper Wellness. They're feeling quite all right about that.
Yeah, credit to Jesus Berea, who stuck with it. He certainly could have given up after that Carmichael tackle coming across and taking it away from him. Stuck with it though, kept the pressure on, forced the turnover, and created the goal.
And for a team that was thrashed the last time they came together with Forward Madison, 5-1. That will feel very good for Philip Mayaka in the home side at AC Boise. Only his second goal of the year. And so calmly taken. The half isn't over though. Carmichael on the cutback. Almost falling asleep at the wheel there, AC Boise. It's out for a corner, and that is something that spells danger against Forward Madison.
Yeah, good work from Ricketts, coming back across from his right wing-back spot to make that interception. Madison looking to hit on the counter here. This is scored that late goal in the first half. Still a few minutes to go though. Got to maintain focus. Can't relax at any point against this Madison side.
Kenny Kanyane over top of it. He has 3 assists on the year. Again, Forward Madison have scored a league best 10 corner kick goals this year. A chance to get it right back. Splitting through the sitting haze.
Just the loss of Jacob Krull. Makes Boise a little more exposed on these set pieces. Dengler, a long big man to defend now.
Well placed, and alive to the task is Jonathan Cleaver. That's a great catch from him.
Yeah, there's an important spot, just to slow down the pace a little bit.
Ricketts bouncing right off the tackle of Bulma. Boise with their antennas up. Kostashin, Berea in Congress. Now Mayaka. Still plenty of time left in the half because of the extensive stoppage. Berea. Dengler. Boise would love to make it a quick combination before the break. Dengler over the top. An exploratory ball down to Ricketts, who's unmarked. Ricketts in, across the floor, comes all the way through. Stabbed offline at the last. That was heart in mouth for JT Harms.
Kefalatura was right there. Went straight through him. Unfortunately for Boise, there's nobody waiting right behind him to finish it.
Mayaka waiting on it, gets between his wickets.
Yeah,
and his body didn't get out of the way.
Yeah, that's a good call. He was going to let it go. Mata wasn't, because Madison were going the other way, and Berea's had enough of Berea's nonsense. He ends up in the book. He was having a word Berea right before the half, before the restart after that goal, said something to him.
Just something to keep an eye on as we head to the end of the half, and confirmation that Jesus Berea has been booked. Yellow card that is brought to you by Diamond Heating and Cooling. With the injury substitutions made by each team in this first half, you're down one window heading into the second half. It might compel both these managers to maybe make a change out of halftime, and with Berea now on a yellow, he probably goes to the front of the queue there.
Yeah, especially with these conditions. I'm sure they will look and see how each player is feeling at the break. Some of these guys may be feeling these conditions, especially with the air quality, a little more than others. Anybody with a history of asthma, etc. So both training staffs will be busy at halftime, checking on these guys.
Down to Torres. On and on we go. Kanyane. Left for McCamey. Hoping to bend the corner. He is cordoned off by Kostashin. A sequence of solid interplay, but now yielding for a Boise break. Berea.
He looked the wrong way. Blake Budley wanted that ball back after that superb challenge. He sprinted fully 50, 60 yards. And Berea turned the other way.
That should do. A go-ahead from Phil Mayaka, fired home firmly in first half stoppage time. And Boise bound to the break, a goal to the good.
Yeah, I think a deserved lead for the home team at the break. It's very much a chess match in the middle of the park between these sides for the first 45. Still plenty to play for after the break.
And to the break we go. It is 1-0. It is AC Boise. It has been a knock and thrust affair here in the state of Idaho. Forward Madison, hoping to keep this unbeaten run alive. Boise not going to let loose the rope easily. Much more to come, but first, halftime, our coverage commences when we return.
Hey, buddy, why aren't we catching anything? I bet they're deeper down. Mom?
Unexpected plumbing issues? Diamond can help with prompt, reliable, high-quality service. Call the amazing team at Diamond Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. From leaky faucets and broken pipes to water heaters and softeners, Diamond's 5-star heroes can help. Diamond.
Your home's best friend.
First alert weather indeed. We have team coverage tonight.
We'll jump right into those first alert weather conditions.
Conditions almost couldn't be more prime for this wildfire to grow.
And a lot of those gusty winds will start to pick up here through tomorrow.
It'll also be very hot outside today, so heat-related illnesses are still a concern.
Just making sure people are prepared.
On First Alert weather days, stream extended coverage on the KTVB app.
Every day, you give it all you've got, because every day demands it. Chasing, climbing, committing, until something takes you down. At St. Alphonsus, our sports medicine team gets you back up with sharp minds and steady hands, helping everyday athletes like you take on tomorrow. So when you demand greatness, bring it.
From the beginning, Idaho has been home. Since 1968, we've stayed true to what matters most: hard work, local ranching, and exceptional beef. As pioneers of American Wagyu, we're involved every step of the way, from ranch to table. Unforgettable beef, done right, by people who care. Snake River Farms, proud supporters of Athletic Club Boise.
Here at the half and drinking in the scenery here in Idaho. For tonight's halftime is brought to you by Hayden Beverage, the official distributing and beer garden partner of AC Boise. It's 1-0. That's our score as the home side had the edge out in front of the Flamingos of Forward Madison. But now we make way to check in on the pulse of all the projects building around the USL in the bright, bright future of this league.
The era of the USL Championship has gone from dreams to renderings to construction. At its recent groundbreaking in southwest Detroit, Alumni Phi Stadium became a vision for the very near future.
We've been incredibly fortunate to create something that's way bigger than us, and that we have the great fortune of being stewards of it. And the stadium represents really an investment in that community, an investment in this neighborhood, a tremendous investment in the city, and something that will be around for generations to come.
With this stadium, the club is investing in its future and demonstrating a long-term commitment to building a sustainable, community-driven club. I'm excited for what the future holds for Detroit City. I can't wait to be back here for the opening match in 2028. And I want to say congratulations to the fans, supporters, ownership group, and the entire community that made this amazing new home possible.
At 15,000 seats, Alumni Fi raises the bar for Detroit City. Soon there will be more groundbreakings and sounds of stadium construction as USL gets closer to the launch of Premier.
¡Espectacular! Hay mucha fiesta, señor Martino. Hay gente revancha, doctor. Pero falta gol y estamos a esperar a Hugo. ¿Hugo Sánchez? Sí, tira para adelante. ¿Quién maneja? ¿Un futbolista? ¡Súbete, llegamos por fin! ¡Ay, bendito sea el chapar, doctor! Hugo, ¿regreso a las canchas? ¿Algún consejo?
Sí, confía y cree en ti.
¡Ey! ¡Vas al norte! A donde me dé la oportunidad, pero listo para dar el paso. ¡Listo, vamos!
This is your moment.
Prinks tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks tires will be there for the long haul.
The 1977 Ford F-Series became America's best-selling trucks. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years and counting. And Ford, the most awarded brand for initial quality among trucks by J.D. Power. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
Buzz across the ground. Here at halftime, it's AC Boise with a late goal in the period to make it 1-0. That's our score, as AC Boise had the edge on forward Madison. The other scores in a busy day around the USL League One. Union Omaha get it done and continue to be the pace car for the division. 3-1 and a big turnaround for One Knox. That was 0-0 at the break. 2-1 the final there.
Yeah, got that late winner. As for Charlotte Swaibu Maru with the winning goal on that one in the second half as Alviati sent off for Greenville. Corpus Christi continue their fine run of players. Things are looking a little worrying in Portland, Maine.
4 successive clean sheets for Corpus Christi, and to imagine that they are right on the playoff line after how they started, almost unbelievable what Eamon Zayed is doing.
Yeah, goals from Bowen and Keeney there. Portland never looked in it in that one. They're languishing below the playoff line.
First away win in club history in the league. Last game of the night, Avialta and Fort Wayne. As for now, though, we check in with our buddy Dan Lucas for an update around the USL ecosystem. Dan, take it away.
It's time for the USL halftime update in the championship. Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with the headlines. The Tampa Bay Rowdies staged their improbable 5-4 comeback victory over Louisville City last weekend, with all 5 goals happening in the second half. Now, believe it or not, that's the 3rd time the Rowdies have pulled off that feat since joining USL, the most in championship history. Orange County SC made its grand return to Championship Stadium with a 2-0 win over El Paso Locomotive, its first league match at home since late April before the World Cup began. OC played 9 consecutive league games away from home, including a neutral site home match, winding up on top of the table in the Western Conference. On Wednesday the 12th, it's the Prinks Tires USL Cup quarterfinals. USL will perform its test run of football video support, allowing coaches 2 requests for video review of 4 areas: goal or no goal, penalty or no penalty, direct red card, and mistaken identity of a yellow or red card. Upcoming national spotlight games, all on CBS Sports Network. Omaha hosts Richmond on the 16th. Phoenix Rising in Colorado Springs on the 19th. That game is also on 2DN. And then Orange County FC Tulsa on the 22nd. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Every business has a story. Maybe you're just getting started. Maybe you're expanding. Maybe you're ready for a fresh start with a bank to succeed, to stay competitive, to get to the next level. And we have a long history of helping businesses just like yours. Banner Bank. Better ideas, better banking.
Every day, you give it all you've got because every day demands it. Chasing, climbing, committing, until something takes you down. At St. Alphonsus, our sports medicine team gets you back up with sharp minds and steady hands, helping everyday athletes like you take on tomorrow. So when you demand greatness, bring it.
From the beginning, Idaho has been home. Since 1968, we've stayed true to what matters most: hard work, local ranching, and exceptional beef. As pioneers of American Wagyu, we're involved every step of the way, from ranch to table. Unforgettable beef, done right, by people who care. Snake River Farms, proud supporters of Athletic Club Boise.
Halftime is brought to you by Hayden Beverage, the official distributing and beer garden partner of AC Boise, and it's a half. That its intermission is starting to come to a close now. About to start things back up in the second frame here in Boise. The highlights of the first half that we just saw, though, first. Forward Madison down a goal. AC Boise with a warning shot in the 10th minute. These are brought to you by Banner Bank.
Yeah, not a ton of moments in this first half. This was the first big one. Nick Moon, lovely ball through to him. Good first touch. Tried to go far post on JT Harms, but Harms got down low. Got that left elbow on it, and that was enough to steer the ball past that far post.
For JT Harms, the slowest rolling ball of his life. In the 12th minute, though, Forward Madison would bite back a little.
Yeah, Tars had a couple of chances from distance in the first half. This is probably the best of the bunch. 25 yards out, hammers it. Just soars over the bar of Cleaver.
And into stoppage time, we hurtled on. Phil Mayaka will be the one to find the breakthrough, and it's just absolutely captivating composure from him.
Yeah, Carmichael will not want to see this replay later. Mayaka straight through the heart of the box. As you mentioned, composed finish. He could easily have lost his cool there. Harms kind of stayed in his line instead of perhaps just coming out. At that point, just come out and throw yourself at him. You got no help. Mayaka, cool finish inside the far post. And there are your halftime stats. It tells you why that lead, I think, is deserved.
Only 2 shots on target between the two teams, and they both come from the home side. AC Boise, again, halftime stats are brought to you by Banner Bank, and Boise are looking to ensure the result they have put together today would be a big one for them against one of the league's hottest sides.
For sure. We will mention one substitution for each team in that first half that could come into play in the second half. Jake Krull making way, as well as Mark Sapers, the captain for Madison. Looked like a shoulder injury. Krull perhaps with a lower leg injury. So one sub window gone for each team in the second half. As you can see, the haze continues to dwell over the stadium here in Boise.
Just one aspect of an atmosphere that contains so much narrative weight between these two teams on this day. Forward Madison flying as high as anybody and really putting in their claim that they might be the top seed and the Players' Shield contender in the league, chasing after Union Omaha. AC Boise a little bit down on their luck these last couple of games, but possibly more talented than anybody. They come together in full collide. We have the breaks in this half again at the 15-minute interval. That will be interesting to see how that shifts things. And if there are any changes at a halftime, it doesn't look like there's going to be. There are 2 players on a yellow card, 1 for each team. Eddie Munjoma for forward Madison, Jesus Barea, the man who's in the center circle and ready to strike the match here in this game. In this second half is on a yellow for AC Boise.
I think both teams will look to come out fast here in these before the first water break and try and force either of these coaches to make a decision about changes at that break. Boise will be 1 point behind Madison if they hold on here, but Madison will have 3 games in hand.
Operations commence again. AC Boise forward Madison, the USL League One. And not wasting any time was Blake Bodley. JT Harms had the reading of it. No stiffness in his muscles out of the break. Once more with Ross Davenport, I'm Peyton Gallagher. A wild day in the USL League One.
JT Harms had to be awake there coming out of the break. Bodley was chasing that ball down. There's a good shot where you can see the haze. Thick air in Idaho.
What's the first thing that Madison have to do here in this half as Cleaver is able to dust it away?
Well, you can see them coming out with this press early. Didn't see them press a whole ton in that first half. We mentioned these temperatures and how that will affect things like the press. You can't come out in these first 45 and gas yourselves chasing the ball around in the final third. Matt Clace, as mentioned, going to try and do something here in these first 15 minutes.
For Madison, 8 games unbeaten, a run that started with that result, that 5-1 thrashing of Boise some weeks ago. In the midst of what is the longest winning streak in the club's history, with 6 in a row coming into today. That is under serious threat now. Shuffled back in for Barea, who's belted it wide somehow.
He can't believe he missed it. Ball felt perfectly for him. He opened up his body, went with the left foot, try and stick it inside the far post. Just shanked it slightly wide. Bodley with the delivery. Yeah, Bray has to do better from there. Harms was at full stretch. That was a good couple of yards wide of his far post.
It's a let-off for sure. Madison thinking they're lucky stars. Again, though, it's the verticality that Nate Miller has so often talked about being a real secret weapon for this Boise team in their home game specifically. Muscled down the line. Boma rounds the first man, but not going to get the better of Phil Mayaka. McCamey puts a noggin to it. Down in the center of the field, Bodley in a fight for it now. Jackson Castro was the other involved party. And in the end of all that, Roman Torres takes a blow and wins a foul.
Torres with his partner back next to him, late Jackson Castro after the injury to Segbers.
And this is where the aerial prowess of forward Madison can take full display. Plenty of acrobats in the air for the Mingos to aim at. And it goes from Kanyane and headed straight out of play.
Well delivered ball, just a little too much air underneath it. If it whipped him with a little more pace, all it would have taken was a touch, just floated a little bit on him. Mentioned Jake Krul out for Boise, one of their big physical presences in the air. Madison unable to take advantage there. Oh, that was nice from Nick Moon.
Sleekly away is Nick Moon, the author of the first ever goal scored at this venue for AC Boise. Down into this end as well. Served in and stricken straight out of play. May have gotten blocked. Will be a corner kick for AC Boise.
That's good work by Ricketts there. A little move to get back to his right foot, open up some space to be able to get the cross in and earn a corner.
Corner kick brought to you by Mother Earth. Charlie Adams, the captain. Forward Madison have conceded the fewest second half goals in the league this year with only 8. Ball in, good one. Knuckle applied by JT Harms. Barea will keep it alive. Jesus Barea now. Well overcooked.
Charlie Adams was doing. Charlie Adams thought it had taken a nick off a Madison player. I didn't see anything.
Not quite sure why. That's a good picture of how much smog is maybe obscuring the vision of these players, and that will be the excuse that Charlie Adams will hide behind.
I don't think he's going to get away with that.
It's a goal kick.
After all that.
Are you surprised at all by the fact that Forward Madison are maybe sitting and absorbing a little bit here to start this half down the goal?
A little bit. I thought they'd come out certainly the quicker of these two teams considering the score. It's been a great defensive job by Boise so far tonight.
Of course, it only takes one bounce.
As Nate Miller said, a lot better defensively now than they were in that 5-1 defeat. So than that Greenville game, he said they take pride when they defend. So when they keep a clean sheet, they usually win. He said Madison can be so devastating on the set pieces and the transition. They've done a great job of limiting those transition opportunities. Of course, sitting back a little bit, it's limited their chances in that final third, especially in that first half till the goal. Moon with the best chance early. Couldn't finish. That'd be a different story this game if he had finished that one.
That on the table, though. Boise will not feel comfortable only the one goal up. Madison have scored in 11 straight ties. Most of that, though, as I said in the first half, coming at home. This is their first road game since July 1st against Spokane. 5 straight in the state of Wisconsin and 8 of the last 9. This is going to be a real examination of how high the ceiling might be. Moon, Ricketts able to keep the first contact alive. McCamey out. There's a Madison player down. This might be a stoppage for a potential head injury, not a foul. I think that's Kenny Kanyane. And because of how big that video board is here, Madison players signaling towards that very same board for potential video evidence. There is no VAR at this level, that should be stated.
Look at it here. It's been accidental. Ricketts was behind. An accidental forearm to the nose, perhaps.
It should restart things with a drop ball. Nate Miller plotting and planning with his group of correspondents. Off the head of Carmichael, Forward Madison starting to force the issue now. Clever little lifted ball into space. Munjoma, Cleaver's out for it. Ahead to it, he's out of goal. Bulma down. Headed off the line by Jake Dangler. Dangler was waiting on it like a pot fly.
See Cleaver and Dangler having a discussion. It's been a busy week for Jonathan Cleaver. Had a baby. Nate Miller was saying what a crazy season it's been for him. It's funny because Cleaver headed it and then sort of, instead of trying to scramble back to his goal immediately, sort of stood there and watched it. I think that perhaps that's what Dangler was saying. Hey, as soon as you come out with a header, get back in goal, man. And Cleaver's gone from a tryout to getting signed. 3rd string to 1st string. Got married, has a kid. I think Miller said he is a very serious guy. Wants to win.
Life comes at you fast. As does his corner. Cleaver's going to punch it away just barely. Looked like he got his legs taken out from him.
It did look like one of his own teammates undercut him. And that's why I think the Boise players are stating that somebody got shoved into Cleaver's legs. I'm sure we'll get a look on the replay as Carmichael's down. Kevin variety. And his mistake led to that goal in the first half. And we're going to have a trainer coming here.
And here's what happened. I think you were right in your assessment. It looked like a Boise player that hit Jonathan Cleaver.
It's Carvalho just completely annihilating the Boise player, pushing him into the goalkeeper.
Torre is worthy of giving that level of attention to. All 4 of his goals this year have come from corners. Ross, that's the most in League One this year, obviously. The record is Pedro Dolabella with 5 in 2024, and it looks like Torre is well on his way to catching him.
Not bad for a rookie.
I'll say so.
Michael still down. So now another long second half as well, Pete.
Say that again. We still have not gotten to the hydration break, which should come at the 60th minute. There is the injury to attend to first, though, to Kevin Carmichael, who has been the mainstay in this back line. 17 appearances on the year, 17 starts. Team's leader in passes with 680, blocks with 17, clearances with 97, interceptions as well with 15. He has been the heartbeat of a back line that has been widely reshaped for so often. Down these last couple of years, it was Timmy Mail and Jake Krull, Mitch Osmond, very young group in there now, and Matt Glazer really likes that top end 3 that's solidified with McCamey, Carmichael, and Torre, but also feels like they have depth there if they need it, and they might.
Yeah, Turner Humphrey's been out for a bit now, but should be making his way back. Carmichael's been superb at the back to Torre with a lovely entrance over the last few games.
If they do need to make a change here, you would imagine it would be Jalen Shannon.
Yeah, he's had a handful of starts at the back. Oh.
Play should restart here shortly with Jonathan Cleaver. If a substitution has to be made here for Kevin Carmichael, notably because it's a head injury, it would open up an extra change for both teams. That is to prevent players from feeling like they have to continue with a potential head injury. The player does have to spend a minute off the pitch to come back on, Kevin Carmichael, if he is to re-enter.
We've had a couple of the head injury substitutions of late. This kid's playing his yellow card ready. No time wasting here.
Now, both teams have depth on display, that is without doubt, but they are tied for the league low in terms of players used between the two rosters. So it is a very tight group.
I think as a coach, that's what you want, right? I think you get that core that you know you can rely on. So you got to get a bit of luck with the injuries. I think I mentioned earlier that Matt Glazer's had some seasons where he's had some bad luck with the injury side of things. And Carmichael, he's had a quiet night tonight so far. Been stifled by this Boise back 3/5.
Kevin Carmichael has come back on here.
A couple of subs potentially coming in soon here for Boise, perhaps at that break.
Certainly provides a very natural jumping off point for them. Now the question then becomes in the chess match, do you wait to see what your opposite number might do out of the break in terms of substitutions and make them at the next window?
It's like those basketball games these days where there's always somebody from the other team keeping an eye on the huddle to see who's coming in and out at the timeouts. It's probably going to be a little similar here, I think, perhaps, as you can see. Madison also getting a couple of substitutes ready.
Tie up at the edge of the box. Looks like Jelani Forbes, who was getting ready for Madison. On the 18 last game. Came off after a gnarly looking injury after 23 minutes against Chattanooga Wednesday of last week. Good to see him back in the fold and ready to contribute in this important moment for Madison at the back. Gotta imagine that might be for Kevin Carmichael.
Forbes, an original USL League One man, played for Orlando City P in 2019.
Madison starting to lay a firmer hand on the game. Torres, it looks like Matt Glazer is going to call one more face over. That is a stellar tackle from Nick Moon. So it appears that it will be a double-barreled change, and it will happen just ahead of the hydration break.
Interesting. Not sure why you wouldn't just wait for the hydration break to make the sub. But
Stephen Honora, his day is done. BB Karamoko will be the one who replaces him. So, one goal scorer from the last match against Westchester for the other. Karamoko got the first, and Stephen Honora got the second. And it's actually Forbes coming on for Kenny Kanyane. The substitutions are brought to you by Athletic Brewing. And that is a more natural hand and glove fit for Forbes at wingback. Catapulted in by Roman Torres.
Disappointing night for Stephen Honora, only 13 touches.
It's been one high. Thrust away by Enyat. We're now getting word that the hydration break will take place at the 70-minute mark.
All right, so just the one in the second half. Dropped a couple of degrees.
Coming out of the match, number 14.
A game with numerous folds and different turns and corners. Kostashin.
Assistant referee thought about doing it. I think he looked at referee Mato to see if he was going to call it, and then neither did. Kostashin not complaining too much, but he certainly got clattered into after knocking it down the line. Yeah, Karamoko, this game perhaps suited for him. Bring a bit of physicality to this front line. Mentioned Stephen Honora, basically a non-factor in this contact so far. He won't play any further part, so Karamoko perhaps feeling a little hard done by not to start this game.
The depth in the competition, though, is a good thing and something that Matt Glazer has used to maybe forge this very young Forward Madison group. Karamoko has been in blinding form, in on loan from DC United. Scored in that most recent game, as I said, but also 2 goals in his last 2 USL League One matches, in which he started, 3 in the last 6 all comps. Munjoma back to Harms.
Miscommunication there. Munjoma thought Harms was coming for it. Harms wasn't anywhere near the ball. Munjoma almost gave it away.
Poked around in the lurch. Possession retained by Phil Mayaka. Again, another textbook, elementary example of what he provides. Here's another. The goal scorer gets it infield. Kostashin. That's a well-spotted ball in for Berea. Contending in is Kevin Carmichael, who eschews away the danger. It looks like we might have a couple Boise changes coming. See if it happens here.
Jake Dangler making his way forward. Charlie Adams imploring his team to try and find what would be a huge second goal here.
Mayaka hooked in from a deep angle. Waiting on the rebound. Several Boise players, never gets to them. Karamoko on it. And thundered away. Just been trading turns with custody of the ball. Carmichael mazing away in the mid-park. Got to find a way to get him more involved. He's calling for the ball. Ryan Carmichael in Congress with Roman Torres. McCamey and Munjoma. One of the better pieces of play of the day for Forward Madison. Right on cue, the pass that goes astray, but still there. McCamey gobbles it up. Gets right into the face of Nick Moon. Munjoma, one-touch stuff. It's liquid from Forward Madison. Shot from distance is blocked on the way. It was Forbes who gave it a pop. That is much better, though.
That was much more like it from the visitors. Mentioned good one-touch stuff, moving around a little quicker, but still finding it very difficult to get through this Boise back line. Madison with the only shot on target so far in this second half.
Sifted wide for Yarrow. Ricketts, Kostashin, Ricketts again. Now Yarrow ahead of them. The wide man is Dennis Kostashin. That's where it goes. Bodies arriving in the box at the back post. Berea was fighting to try and get an edge. Said JT Harms rose up above him and took it out of the sky.
Good play by the man in pink. This game's opening up a little bit here, though. Legs getting a little tired, perhaps. The non-subbed players.
Those 3 Boise changes waiting in the wings. Again, mind you, because of the concussion potential substitution not happening, Boise still only have the 1 remaining change that they can make. Into Castro, filtering forward to Monjoma. Shot from distance is heaved high by Carmichael. And it looks like those subs will be sent in by AC Boise. So if it is the triple change that is on the way, Boise taking a big risk to shuffle the complexion of the game. Among coming in. These are all brought to you by Athletic Brewing. He will replace Jesus Brea. Charlie Adams is off for Dominic Gasso. Got a much more extended billet in the playing side for AC Boise the last month or so. And one final substitution in this raft of them, Dennis Kostashin. His day comes to a close, and no rest for the wicked if you're forward Madison. Here comes Tumi Moshaban.
I do like the substitutes here with the 1-0 lead. Gasso in the middle of the park. Some fresh legs straight in at DM for Adams, and then up top, Amon and Moshaban. Best defense sometimes is attack, and they'd love to have that second goal. Here comes Moon now.
Nick Moon at full gate and has a run ahead. Blake Bodley in. Back post, Among has missed out. His first kick of the game. And it comes clattering wide.
And Among thrust into action. I'm not sure if JT Harms got a touch on it before it hit Among or not. It was at full stretch to try and get something on it.
Coming off a match last time out, Ross, where he did start against Corpus Christi. He took 7 shots. He only put 1 on target. It's another missed moment for him.
Yeah, well, a man of his resume, you'd expect him to do a little better on that one if Harms didn't get a touch on it, but perhaps directed it slightly away from him on the wrong part of the body than he wanted to. Referee Mato saying Gasso took it from the wrong spot, regardless of whether Ryan Carmichael was in the way, delaying the restart.
Nonetheless, we restart. Cleaver dicing with danger a little bit, inviting Karamoko onto him. But it has maybe opened up opportunities ahead. Moshaban, who will provide the cutback run. It's Among, and it's beaten out for what will be another corner kick.
Good work from McCamey there. Closed down that option at the front post for Moshaban.
Corner kicks for today's match are brought to you by Sun Cruiser Hard Iced Tea.
Corner kick that is presented by Mother Earth Brewing. This is a big, big moment for a young forward Madison team. They must make sure their focus does not fray here.
See what kind of delivery we get from Budley with his left foot. It's a good one.
It hit Dangler, just went the wrong direction. And the break might be on. Looks like that may have hit a hand. Advantage being played out. Scrambling around the cul-de-sac to catch up to it is Inya. Now he's got support from Gasso, and it's blotted out for another corner by Carmichael, who comes up with a wobble. Just at a glance at the bottom end of your screen there for a moment, you could see one more sub for forward Madison up. Looked like A.J. Edwards. And the last one that AC Boise can make will be their next one. A couple of their players bouncing up and down and limbering up. Mother Earth Brew Company, corner kick for Dominic Gasso and AC Boise. Measuring up forward Madison, already a goal to the good. Right into the heart of the area, and that is a towering header. Only as far as Mayaka, who re-enters. Glanced away once, glanced away twice. Taken down by Carmichael, intercepted again by Mayaka. Shot coming, is blocked. So many bodies in the goal mouth. Now the brake's on. Jackson Castro. Free man off and running on the right. It's going to be latched onto by Josh Bulma. In the middle is Karamoko. Bulma on the twist, on the turn, and straight into Blake Bottley in recovery. Believe he played the corner at the start of that whole thing.
Yeah, great tracking back. Bulma is off to the races. Was waiting for the runner Karamoko and just took a little too long. See him hit it. Boise had good numbers back. Gasso and Bodley double teaming Bulma. Last touch coming off the man in blue. Things opening up here as we expected this game to be from the start, but it's been a chess match for sure.
Can watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM SC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC, Sirius XM app. Ball guided in, and another stop in the sixth. That time again, looked like Kevin Carmichael, who is seriously limping now.
And Blake Bodley getting his fellow Idaho folks fired up. Shabani continuing to be a pest. You see Boise trying to pin back Madison for as much of this last probably half hour as they can. 90 minutes, excuse me, plus another good amount of stoppage. Not as much as the first half, though, with just the one water break coming up in a minute.
In with thrust from Bodley at the back stick. It's maybe a little bit overhit. Onto it is Yarrow. Nick Moon might get a second chance. Mayaka and Moon.
Yarrow was onside, I think.
Swirled in, headed back across goal, and off the line.
Offside.
Jackson Castro, it wouldn't have mattered. Offside's the call.
I was going to say, Josh Yarrow was wide open here. Mayaka didn't go back to him. It was a lovely ball in the end. Not sure where the offside was. I don't think that went in.
Madison making two final changes. Claudel Ngubu coming into this game now. Day is done for Josh Bulma. One more alongside him as A.J. Edwards will come into this game. Had an assist last match off the bench against Westchester. For Ngubu, he had 2 assists against Boise in the prior meeting.
You mentioned Carmichael limping. He makes way for Edwards.
And yeah, pulses away. A teasing first touch. Oh, it's hypnotic from Boise. Moshaban, it's blocked. Trickles back into the custody of Nick Moon, who showed too much of the ball. The forward Madison defender. Boise just will not give it up, though. Gasso is bumped from behind by Roman Torres, and that has crossed the line. It's a foul.
Boise really turning the screw here, putting the pressure on, keeping the ball down this end. Madison can't do anything about it. A little bit of a transition opportunity a couple minutes ago. Snuffed out. More time off the clock here. Gasso will take his time with this one. Former Detroit City man.
Now, Charlie Adams took all the free kicks when he was in the game, but he's been exited for this man, Dominic Gasso. Looks like he will maintain the responsibility. Takes it short to Bodley. Bodley with a good angle to cross across the galley. Out for what will be a goal kick.
Defended by Ryan Carmichael. Getting goal side to Ricketts, not allowing him to get quality contact on that one. Boise continuing to press here on this goal kick by Harms. Smelling blood, wanting that second goal, which would be so crucial.
Ngubu lost the ball on his first touch, but it's come right to a teammate. Karamoko, Ngubu in a soft spot, a vacancy to approach. Shot coming from range and rocked high.
Carmichael's second attempt from distance tonight. Had that beautiful free kick a couple of games ago. Now we will have the hydration break, just the one here in this second half, and probably good timing for forward Madison. Under the cosh here from Boise most of this last 15-20 minutes. Chance to catch their breath here.
And with that, we get a chance to look at how we arrived here at this plateau in the game. 1-0 to Boise. It was right before the break. It was Phil Mayaka.
It's unfortunate the mistake led to this goal. It was great effort for Brea to get that stretch, and then Mayaka with the run straight through the middle. A couple of lovely touches. He was at quite a pace coming into that box. Ball bouncing off his shins. The proposed finish, his arms decides for some reason not to just come out and make himself big, but that man won't care.
They gave him a corner. He filled that corner, and that is why we are where we are. A good time to tell you that it is always a good time to watch the USL Championship in League One on the CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus, USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Important 15 minutes coming up here, partner.
No doubt about it. Glazer trying to find an equalizer. Well, it takes his one. They've hung around in this game and kept it at 1-0.
It would be devastating for Boise to lose their leash on this game.
Right move so far. At the edge. Thanks to that goal we just saw. They'd love a second one. Where are you going, guys?
It's a cha-cha slide.
They're just going for some extra space in the aisle. Okay. I will allow it.
Hard to cha-cha and or slide in bleacher seating. At least I assume so. I've not tried.
It's been a long time since I've been to a wedding, so I haven't had to deal with this.
Just for everybody at home, Ross Davenport is doing the dance right next to me right now. So 1-0. So forward Madison, so AC Boise in the throes of the hunt for the all-important places in the playoffs in USL League One. Waited all year for games to count like this.
Great body work on Bodley. Bodley gets a yellow card for the reaction. Jomo had the early yellow card. Behaved himself since then.
Blake Bodley has inherited the armband from Charlie Adams, and he gets the yellow.
AC Boise, number 7, Blake Bodley.
Yellow card is brought to you by Diamond Heating and Cooling. Madison prowling around at the edge of the 18. Carmichael. Ryan Carmichael in field for Jackson Castro. Lands with a thud off the instep of BB Karamoko. Calling for it is Eddie Munchoma, the former Phoenix Rising man. Some tight touches in contested airspace for Madison. The Mingos making headway. Claudel Ngubu herded away by Enya. Off the back heel, Ngubu jousting with Mayaka for it, who fell down and put his hands on the ball. A foul is called. It had to be, otherwise it would have been a penalty.
Bailed out there. No complaints from the Madison players. So see if it was the right decision here. Yeah, too much contact from behind from Ngubu. Just leaning into Mayaka.
Now players do this, where they go down after contact and then will grab the ball to force a call out of the referee.
Yes.
You saw Mayaka do that instinctively and then think about it, then pull his hands back. He's maybe a little bit fortunate there.
I think he may have realized what the score was and where he was on the pitch. Tried to change his mind, but it was too late by that point.
It was a foul, though, and that is maybe another.
Not sure what he's complaining about there. It's reckless from the substitute.
It was shoulder. The problem was it didn't land on another shoulder.
Yeah, certainly in the back end with some oomph.
A.J. Edwards, that is a sturdily built individual.
He is. With a great beard as well.
not play any games in June, dealing with an injury. This is a menacing moment for forward Madison here on the road. Hoisted in by Gasso. It's Spightless.
Disappointing delivery there from Gasso.
Rainbowing down to Moshe Bon, who thinks about a shot. Gasso joins up. He might have the green light. Instead gets it wide for Bodley. Now Gasso and no rush, AC Boise. Thundering on as if it were the 10th minute of play with 10 minutes left, this crowd. Edwards does a roundabout. Ngubu.
Three shots on target total tonight. One for Madison. It's the only shot inside the box. Tells you the story of how good Boise have been at defending their 18-yard area.
Cleaver on his way to what would be a 6th clean sheet of the year. Edwards. Angled away by Dangler. Off a bounce. Thomas Among was working heartily for it.
The thing is, they've outpassed Boise in the final third. But only have one shot in that box to prove it, to show for it.
That's a slicing ball in from Njomo. He just swings his leg at it. I think evidence of that fact that you bring that number to the table, it's just all been in the horseshoe of doom, orbiting the 18-yard box for forward Madison in the final third. Marching on to the finish line. Madison have not let this go. Karamoko left off for Carmichael, who paves it forward. Ricketts is there the whole way. Boise might have to grit their teeth here and dig in.
His first time tonight doing a great job of tracking back. Tracking that run of Forbes.
Again, Madison have scored at least one goal in their last 11 games played in the league. That is a mile high. It comes into the 6. Roman Torres freeing himself with Mayaka, going all the way end line, blocked out by Bodley. Header away from Enya. Another header, this time from Carmichael. And Bodley is belting out his approval. That was sleeve rolled up work from the entire Boise defense.
Yes, and really a talisman of this AC Boise side. Does his work most of the time relatively quietly, but Bodley, he wants to get involved like this in a crucial match, tight match like this. He's the one guy you want around the ball.
Maybe not there though. Cheap giveaway. Forbes flushing forward for Ngubu. Karamoko in the middle. Yoro contesting. Edwards!
Oh my word!
AJ Edwards! That is a mighty, mighty goal! And Madison are level 1 apiece!
Looked like a speculative effort at best from Edwards initially when he cut back in from this left-hand side, but so much traffic in the box, you have to worry. Cleaver didn't get a good look at it. Clearly didn't see it till late, didn't even dive. What a hammer blow from the substitute. Maybe had some movement on it, and that may have fooled Cleaver.
Now then, cometh the 83rd minute. Step right up, AJ Edwards, 1-1. And that has changed the temperature, and it's getting hotter. Carmichael. Ryan Carmichael blocks. Yoro brave enough to put himself in front. For Madison. Flying high and in formation now. Edwards this time on the near side, and he has his pocket picked by Enya, who keeps it on. Into the 5th gear, Bodley. Sachets away from Torres. Greenfield in front. Served in without much rudder. Moshe Bon assigns himself to keeping it. Now Mayaka.
Tackle by Toure. He's throwing himself all over the place. Former FAU man. And finally, Madison earned a foul. Boise fans stunned by that goal. And encouraged by the Boise response here, but nothing from it this time.
I'd be speechless too. They're not though, still making noise.
Suddenly tons of life in these Madison legs now, and they were looking a little tired 5 minutes ago. A goal like that will certainly give you some energy out of nowhere.
Kerfala Toure. Boise suddenly the hunted. Manjoma calling for it in the middle. Motioning wide. Ryan Carmichael, man in the box, and it's moonshotted.
You can see Carmichael was looking for somebody to make that diagonal run. He's just too wide. There's nobody a little nearer for him to look for. Also got to be careful here.
Off the restart, there's no offside on the goal kick.
Pass.
Bodily! Boise zone! Blake Bodily breaks the whole thing up for the home side. One of their own. 2-1 AC Boise.
It took so long for this game to come alive, and Mai has it in these last 5 minutes. McCamey under pressure. What this pass by Among. Bodley with a calm, composed finish past the outrushing JT Harms. And Edwards, a minute ago the hero, now watching Blake Bodley score in front of him, what could be the winner. This engrossing contest, it finally got there, Peyton. I've been waiting for this.
Blake Bodley scores. He scores in the 86th minute. He makes it 2-1. That goal is brought to you by Restore Hyper Wellness. And what is restored is the advantage for the home team. He's got it in ink on his arm, and he puts something in the hearts and minds of everybody in attendance here tonight. It will be one final change for Nate Miller, and that change will be Omar Yaya coming on for Nick Moon. That likely pushes Bodley, you'd think, back to wingback.
That's why he was perhaps a little frustrated when he saw what sub was being made. Just scored the goal. Now got to sit back a little bit and try and protect that lead. Another third. Not sure if we're done with goals here, Peyton. I think there might be one more.
Coming out of the match, number 14, Nick Moon.
Being informed just for the proper accounting of things, because this is the time of year where that starts to matter. Dennis Kostashin did get a yellow card on the bench for leaving the dugout in the celebration. That's his 5th yellow of the year, 3 away from an accumulation suspension. Bodley's 3rd goal on the campaign, starting to maybe find the heat. In a building that is always lush with life is particularly alive right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has issued a yellow card to AC Boise, number 10, Dennis Costa.
We're sliding the abacus and tuning the stoppage time allotment. Should be a little bit. There was the hydration break in this half.
I wonder for me what Kerfala Toure was, and he's playing center forward at the moment for Madison. They just thrown him forward. Brings Edwards back, along with Manchoma into a pack 3. Madison in danger here. Boise giving around a dangerous spot. Got away with it.
Gathering pace, AC Boise. More specifically, it's Tumi Moshaban, who twists out of one tackle, takes on another, takes a shot. That is a stop of the highest order for JT Arms. Wow!
Full stretch, JT Arms to his left. He stopped one in the first half. Shabani twisting and turning his way right down the heart of the Madison defense. Make great contact with it. That's potentially one of the best saves of the season, Peyton. Struck with such venom. Just had to get off those toes super quickly.
What has gotten into this game? Head spinning finish to this one. A corner kick brought to you by Mother Earth Brew Co. We will have 7 minutes of stoppage time to play beyond this corner kick. And is brought to you by Diamond Heating and Cooling. Unable to unearth a knockout blow there, though, is Thomas Among.
Brought to you by Diamond Heating and Cooling. The fourth officials indicated there will be a minimum of 7 minutes of added time in the second half.
It's cheaply given away to Gassel. We had 1 goal in the first 83 minutes of this game, then we had 2 and 4 minutes. There are 7 minutes left. You do the math. Skyscraping ball into the middle. Flipped ahead by Castro. Among is a mile high to greet it and gone in too strongly. Yellow card.
No doubt about that one. Among straight through the back of Castro. A good bit of venom in it as well. See Volature continuing to play up top for Madison. Crazy, certainly throwing everything at this one. He wants to keep that unbeaten streak going. Need an end here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has issued a yellow card to AC Boise number 22.
For Madison, likely to have much of the ball here for the duration. Darting into the back post. They were looking for Volature, and what they've gotten is a corner.
Good defending there. Musa and yeah. Volature, his big 6'4" frame, the target. I think the knockback across. It'll certainly be a target here, where he loves to thrive on corners.
Again, Madison lead the league in corner kick goals with 10. Volature scored 3 in just the month of July. Ball in. Scraped away just about. Karamoko onto it. It's blocked. It will be another corner. Excruciating defending for Boise.
Hanging on for dear life here. He's missing that presence of Jacob Krull. He left in the first half with a low leg injury.
Over 7,000 in attendance on pins and needles. Pushed in, pushed out. Right back to Roman Torres, who takes his time before turning it goalward. The knockdown from Ngubu and away.
Torres felt like he was impeded there. He was dragged down. You can see how incensed he is.
Volature might be getting away with something here. No, he's not. A yellow card promptly followed by a red one. And it's down to 10. Volature was not on a booking prior to that. So whatever he said crossed the line, and then he said something else. And it's really, really riling up now.
Volature went up for the ball on the redelivery from Torres, and claiming that he got dragged down. A rookie mistake there, costing his team. We've got some more nonsense. Edwards' shirt is off.
I think it may have been ripped off. The red card, by the way, is brought to you by Diamond Heating and Cooling.
JC Harms is all the way down from the other end of the pitch.
I'll tell you this. This is how rivalries really start, in earnest.
No doubt about it. Let's take a look and see if we can keep an eye on Toure here. Yeah, got grabbed. Is it Ricketts maybe? Or had a hold of him. Toure was so upset, he went straight over to the ref after this ball was cleared. There was a retaliation, I think, perhaps, at the edge of the box. I think that may have sparked what happened afterwards.
Edwards just gets his shirt taken off him by Mayaka.
See, I think it's Thomas Among down who got the retaliation, I think, after the Toure.
from what we've been able to piece together, and there's a yellow card to Phil Mayaka here in the mix of this. That is his 7th, so that's notable on the season. But in trying to glean what took place, you'd have to imagine it was dissent on 2 occasions for Kerfalla-Torre that got him sent off, and we're still trying to puzzle this whole thing together.
And John Martin's doing a good job here of just settling things down, getting everybody. And keep an eye on Thomas Among here, coming from the edge of the box. There's the original grab of Toure.
Oh.
Down he goes, slam down. It's a little elbow, a little loose elbow.
I don't think you're giving a game-defining penalty for that, though.
No, Cordell Ngubu was the one that caught Amon with a loose elbow. I don't think there's any nastiness in it. It wasn't involved in what happened to Kerfalla-Torre.
And after all that, we restart with a drop ball, and it should be about 5 minutes left in the game. Munjoma, like it never ever happened, and Amon sneaks in and takes it off him. And it is off to the races for Boise, and wide it's Bodley, the hero of the night. Hits it in, back post, yeah, was waiting. And a foul.
So the stadium was ready to explode had that one gone in. The nonsense firing up this crowd, this 7,000 plus crowd. And we're ready to just lose it there had that one gone in, but Madison still with a chance here to somehow pull a point out. But now down a man who was playing center forward right before he got sent off.
And their best winner of the ball in the air, maybe the best in the league. Roman Torres, right in so for BB Karamoko. Carmichael feinting. McCamey.
So it means Torres will miss that trip to the home game against Madison, against Greenville on Wednesday.
Sangliati will miss that for Greenville. Also got a red card today.
He did. Scoring that big winner.
Nudge
Big
free.
equalizer, excuse me.
Yeah, may have started this run in his own half. We'll see if the flag pops up. It won't. Omar, rolled across and blocks.
McCamey scrambling back. Laser wants the offside. He had one of the best views of it.
In the corner, we're past the 97th minute. There was such a long stop for the red card, though. We should have well beyond this. Bodley just hits it as hard as he can.
And still on one knee after claiming he got dumped. There's no call, though.
The tumult and tension of the USL League One. Throw in, AC Boise.
This is what the fans came to see. It took a good chunk of time to see it. Finally got that barn burner we were looking for. Boise player down behind the plate. Or ahead of the play, I should say. It's still recovering from that contact. It wasn't a foul, call it contact. Probably imploring his team to get up the field.
McCamey attaching himself. Who knows how much is left in this? Hoisted in, knocked down. Cleaver's there. Mushabon rallying right on by Forbes. He's got Among in the middle, and now left of him, it's Toomey Mushabon. Is it Toomey time? It's not. And the long row to hoe back to the attacking end for Madison. Edwards, who got the goal to make it 1-1.
I think it all seems like it was about 2 hours ago now. How insane these last 20, 25 minutes have been.
Fizzing around the Bodley. They want the whistle. Washing forward is Among waiting on it. The flag's up. Gotta go.
he has only been in the game 5 minutes. He looks like he's been in it for 45 minutes. He's mentally gassed, if anything. Do it.
On an everlasting night in the state of Idaho, an incandescent fixture meets its final turn. Forward Madison 1, AC Boise 2.
The undefeated streak and the win streak come to an end. 4-4 Madison. They gave it everything. It looked like it would survive after that Edwards goal. That pushed a few too many bodies forward, and Blake Bodley made them pay.
The 10th win in Boise's inaugural maiden voyage of a campaign in the USL League One comes at massive cost, but it's something they'll pay every time. They will swoon for that one. All up and down this ground. When we come back, we pick through the bones. 2 on the final score. AC Boise and Forward Madison put on a playoff preamble here today in the state of Idaho. Don't go anywhere.
I want to do too, so I'm going to go give my body the fuel and the nourishment that it needs to do that as often as I possibly can. If you want to come in and get an IV and get compression and get infrared, get the mild hyperbaric chamber in 150 locations around the country where we're traveling, we can find that. And so I think that's what makes it special, is it's a one-stop shop for health, for fuel. But the reason I come here is because it gives me the chance to do more.
Every business has a story. Maybe you're just getting started. Maybe you're expanding. Maybe you're ready for a fresh start with a bank that truly cares about your business. We're Banner Bank, and we want your business to succeed, to stay competitive, to get to the next level. And we have a long history of helping businesses just like yours. Banner Bank. Better ideas, better banking.
Hey buddy, why aren't we catching anything? I bet they're deeper down. Mom?
Unexpected plumbing issues? Diamond can help with prompt, reliable, high-quality service. Call the amazing team at Diamond Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. From leaky faucets and broken pipes to water heaters and softeners, Diamond's 5-star heroes can help. Diamond.
Your home's best friend.
A careful reminder of why you rock up and watch this league. Post-game coverage brought to you by Hayden Beverage, the official distributing and beer garden partner of AC Boise. And they will be happy with how things came down on this evening. 2-1, a bit of cold surf revenge against Forward Madison after the 5-1 thrashing the Flamingos left on the home team earlier in the season. With Ross Davenport, I'm Peyton Gallagher. Things scattered. Blake Bodley would be the one. Their captain scores stylishly. And that is our move of the match, brought to you by Restore, and what a move it was.
Yeah, credit to Cleaver for the quickly taken free kick while Madison was still sort of recovering. Caught them napping a little bit in the lovely little turn and pass from Amon. Setting up Bodley, and there are your final stats. A lot of that action coming in the final quarter of that game. Finally lived up to expectations this one. Boise with a massive statement victory, ending Madison's run.
Absolute delight of a game. Only the 6 shots on target, but it felt like every kick counted here tonight.
It did. The crowd helped as well. Massive crowd in Boise. Shout out to them. Shout out to Madison for that lovely streak that does end tonight, but they'll try to get things going again on Wednesday against Greenville.
This is what it looks like when 2 of the teams climbing the mountain in the league come together at the apex, and it lived up to the billing with the flags swashing across the sky tonight in Idaho. It is the home side that swoop in and steal it late. The final score, 2-1. Athletic Club Boise get this off Forward Madison in a match that matters much in the narrative of this League One season. But for now, we say happy trails from Idaho for my partner Ross Davenport. Folks, I've been Peyton Gallagher. We'll talk to you soon, the USL League One.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.